The way we're looking to scale now is to work not exactly towards a franchisee model. We're really looking at pushing a franchisee owned but a company operated model. That's why with Knox, I don't like to say like we're founders, we're a founding team. There's a bunch of us. And because we're such a strong founding team of people who are dedicated to this, of people who are passionate about fitness, but also passionate about building brands. So one of my co-founders is Aman. He's built Keventers. Another one is Kanav, who's in the finance background. So he's an investment banker. So he's been around this space. Joel is, he's a civil engineer. He's built, hundreds of Keventer stores. And then the training team is just the most passionate training team that there is. So with these collective minds, the scope of what we can create within the space of fitness, I think is just, the potential is very, very exciting. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to go to when I asked you that where you're at right now. Do you have a vision in place that, we're at, not just in terms of say number of studios? I think that's not a good metric for a boutique brand like Knox to say that I want to open 100 stores. No, that doesn't make sense. What is your perspective of scaling or the vision that you have for Knox?
Okay. So in terms of how we want to go about scaling, we don't want to do it exactly the way we've built the first 2 stores.
Okay.
You learned a lot from this. What we've understood is our expertise is one, of course, setting up a space and operating it well.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what we've managed to do in 4 years is build a really strong brand in fitness, in that we understand training and we understand fitness.
Yeah.
Now, in order to always raise money to build stores is just not viable, right? It's too expensive an ordeal. Like, hey, we'll raise money and then we'll build more, and we'll raise money and we'll build more. We don't want to go down that cycle. The way we're looking to scale now is to work not exactly towards a franchisee model, because I think a very insightful experience that Aman had with his Keventers days is that going pure franchisee is a little bit of a dodgy thing. Like, quality really drops and managing operations becomes really, really tough. So now we're really looking at pushing a franchisee owned but a company operated model. So so the FOCO model, and what we're looking to do is tie up with spaces that match our vibe, that match certain requirements that we have of them, and we will go set up a Knox for them. We will operate that Knox for them, and that kind of it becomes our way to expand, because what we are really good at is managing studio operations, running a gym well, building an aesthetic space, and building communities. Right. And a lot of the newer wellness spaces and fitness spaces that are coming up, that is the piece of the puzzle that they don't know how to solve. Right. They're like, okay, fine, we'll buy all this equipment and we'll put nice equipment and we'll put it in the gym, and we'll get some trainers and we'll put them in the gym. But how am I going to really provide value is when I have first like high quality training, like the best training around, and I have communities around my gym. So that is what we've understood, and that is the idea now, that we can utilize the skill set that we have of operating gyms and building communities and take that to other people, because people don't know how to do that for themselves. They know how to physically create a gym, but they don't know how to create like a vibe and a space, that third space where people want to come and they want to interact. So if you're building a wellness space, and if you're building a wellness space, you're going to have a fitness studio as a part of it. We want that studio to be a Knox studio.
So it's not essentially, so you're essentially bringing a Knox studio alongside a wellness space, or alongside a space that's happening, or it can either be a whole Knox studio that you make.
It can also be a whole Knox studio. Again, it'll be, where are we placing this? Who is it that wants to interact with us, right? Ideally, we would like to be in a wellness space, because that gives a lot more. So let's say I have a Knox studio with a pickle courts, and I have a great spa and wellness center, and I have other services that I can provide. We become that piece of the puzzle of the entire wellness concept. And the thing is, we're already tying up with people who can help us build the entire concept. Right. So if you're someone who's like, hey, I actually have a space and I want to build an entire like fitness wellness concept around it. We can bring the pickle courts for you. We have the connects for that. We can set up the gym for you. We can set up a group class studio for you. We can even set up the entire wellness zone for you, right? I think even the Sunrise Social, all of the the therapies are born out of that as well, right? That people should see that we understand this, we have the right partners, we work with the best, we have Jaguar Wellness on board, right? And they make the best wellness products in India. So we one, of course, right now people know us for gyms, but as we move and we keep building more of these, the idea is to be associated with wellness and wellness spaces, so that we're not just plugging in a Knox, but ideally we're plugging in the entire wellness piece for you guys.
Will that also be, do you think, coming forward in, I mean, we're talking maybe a few years down the line, I don't know how far that is, but then do you see every Knox studio be a part of the wellness space?
Correct. So, see, what is fitness, right? Uh, I can go to a gym and I can hammer out workouts, but if I'm not recovering well from it, right, I'm not going to get the benefits of it. For us, it's very, very clear that fitness is a piece of the puzzle of wellness, right? And we want it to be that going forward. Yes, till now we've operated as a fitness studio, but at our core, our ethics and whatever, our fundamental value is that training should be about feeling good, not just about looking good or going looking jacked in the gym or having abs or anything like that, right? And in order to feel good, it needs to fit into this larger puzzle of what you're doing. If you come into the gym and smashing yourself but you're not sleeping, like we talked about earlier, right, you're not really improving the quality of your life significantly, right? If you're going to, I'm sorry to shit on you like this last minute, but if you're going to run at 11:30 and then lose sleep because of that, like, is that run really worth it? Right? Maybe you're better off not doing the run and just sleeping and figuring out other ways to exercise in your day, right? Maybe like when you're sitting at your desk at your consulting job, you get a 20-minute break and you go out and do 10 push-ups every 2 hours. You might get more out of that if you then you go home and you sleep well. So you have to, we always want the fitness that we provide to be positioned in a way that is leading to overall wellness, right? So yes, of course you can have a standalone gym, but the education that we're going to provide in that gym will be about what you need to do outside of here as well, right? But ideally then, if you're going to plug into spaces, it should be a wellness space, right, where you're getting the entire like plethora of services or that you require, and you don't actually require all the services, right? But it, when you create an ecosystem for wellness, then people are more likely to fall into that ecosystem and do the activities that are required, right? If I have a doctor who, when I walk into the space, and if my coach trains me and he constantly tells me about how important sleep is, at some stage that's going to register, right? So yeah, that is kind of why, even though it could be separate, ideally we would like it to be in the right spaces, surrounded, attracting the right kind of community, with the right kind of facilities and services around.
You've Tell me a little bit about some of the partnerships you've already done moving forward in this way, just to give me more perspective.
So in terms of FOCO partnerships right now, there's nothing in terms of what I can tell you that has happened.
Okay.
They're all like works in progress that will, once they're out, will then be revealed.
Of course.
Yeah. So this is a direction that we've taken relatively recently, in terms of how we want to go about it, because we just had to have a sit down and be like, we can't just keep raising funds every time we want to open new spaces, right? It's just not the way we want to grow the company. So post that conversation, we're like, it has to be a better way to do this, and this is kind of the better way we've brainstormed, and you'll have the first glimpses of it relatively soon. You should have some concepts where you'll be able to go check it out and see what we're doing now.
Nice. I would love to go someplace closer than Udyog Bhavan and experience.
They might not be in Delhi, who knows?